I think this will be my 47th year of coaching college athletes. It has changed. There's nothing today even close to what it was 47 years ago. And the thing that I have learned and continue to learn is that you have to change with the times. Now somebody said, well, hold it, how can you be a boss and be a servant? Well, you can if you'll do it correctly. You know, if you'll do it correctly. I think people like to be led by a baton instead of a stick. The big thing I like our coaches do is work them on the field as hard as we can, much as they can take. But I like to see a coach coming off the field with his arm around his neck, talking to him, you know.
The same type of coach is needed in the workplace today, especially when it comes to improving safety performance.
Hi, I'm David Sarkus. After years of playing competitive sports and working in industry as a safety professional, I took what I learned from some of my best coaches, what I call the 7 principles for world-class safety performance, and used them to teach people to become safety coaches.
The performance principles can be summed up in an easy-to-remember formula called the 7 C's: coach, confirm, correct, conciliate, care, collaborate, and clarify.
When our players come in here as freshmen, I tell our coaches, hey, go by his room and talk to him a little bit. Go by and see him occasionally. Call him in your office, talk to him. And I always encourage them to come out and see me. I tell those boys, now look, I'm just like your father. Your father's back home. He can't be here. Your mama, she can't help you. She's way back down in Miami, Florida. You're way up here. Now, I can take the place of your parents. You come by and see me. If you got any problems, and it's really driving you nuts, so come by and see me. Express it to me. I promise you I won't tell anybody, you know. Just me and you will talk about it.
Great coaches share some basic principles. They genuinely care about their players. They make an effort to get to know the player as a person, their likes, their dislikes. And even if a team member does not perform as expected, like missing an assignment and allowing another team to score a touchdown on a given play, good coaches will give feedback on what players do right. In short, building a solid relationship with their players has a powerful effect. They know it brings out the best in their people. The end result is that everyone practices harder and performs better. Everyone pulls together as a team. Let's take a look at 2 guys who applied these principles in the workplace, Willie and Joe. Willie was well liked at work because he was outgoing, but he didn't lead by example. When it came to safety standards, he took chances. To help improve his safety performance, Willie was transferred to Joe's department, a workplace with 0 accidents. At first, Willie played by the rules to keep from getting fired.
Yo, Willie, Joe's looking for you.
Yo, throw me that hard hat.
What's up with that?
I just gotta at least play the game and look safe.
Joe's gonna want you to do more than just play the game.
Hey, I know what's best for Willie, okay?
And just what is best for Willie?
What's best for Willie right now is whatever Joe says. See, I was just telling Mac here, he shouldn't be running around without a hard hat on.
But when no one was looking, Willie reverted back to unsafe behavior. He did not bother to consider the possible consequences of his unsafe actions. Joe earned the respect of his co-workers because they knew he cared about each one of them. Joe was a survivor with plenty of experience working in industrial settings. He knew all the accident horror stories and the pain they caused workers and their families. Some say that's why he was such a good safety coach. He cared too much to see anyone suffer from an accident. He knew that by practicing safety and encouraging his team to work safely, he could save a life.
Bernie, you need to wear fall protection if you're going to work on top of silo number 3.
I'll only be up there for a few minutes, Joe.
I know, but you got a wife and 3 kids that need you to be safe. It's worth the effort to put on the right gear, even for a quick job. Remember, accidents can happen in a second if you're not careful.
Joe wanted everyone to return home in the same condition they came to work in, healthy. He knew that by practicing safety, you could prevent an injury in the workplace. Here's a coaching tip. Get to know the people you work with. If you see someone doing something unsafe, take a positive coaching approach. Help to correct the situation in order to prevent an accident.
Well, I think positive reinforcement is very important. You know, as you coach players, as you try to lead players, you can stay on them, and correct them, and because we do spend a lot of time correcting, because if we get them corrected, they're going to be good. If they don't correct, they're not. But I think you've got to give positive reinforcement too. I think there has to be a fine balance. The way I work with my coaches is this. I don't coach anything. I coach the coaches. But when they're on the field, I'm very quiet. I let the coaches coach. Now, if I think a coach is riding a kid too hard and really driving him nuts, then I'll pull that kid aside and hug his neck and try to be sweet to him. I'll try to give him that other blend, you know. Now, if I see a coach working a kid, I don't think he's working him hard enough. I don't think he's driving him hard enough. I might come over and really jump on him, you know, because I'm looking for that balance. I'm looking for that balance, that blend, you know. But I think you've got to give them reinforcement, a positive reinforcement. I think more boys will respond to that than they will negative criticism, you know.
That means confirm safe actions more than you correct unsafe ones. When you confirm, you reinforce safe behavior. Workers take pride in a job well done. Workers associate safe actions with feeling good. You establish a bond of trust with your people. Just keep in mind the 3 F's. Frequent. Confirm often, not just when you're in the mood. Fast. Confirm right when you see a safe action. Favorable. Make it as positive as possible. Joe corrected Willie when he had to, but he confirmed his safe actions more.
You know, I'm glad to see you carrying that load down low.
Oh, thanks, Joe. I guess I should be wearing my seatbelt, though, huh?
Yeah, I was going to mention that.
After confirming Willie's safe actions, Joe then clarified the importance of those actions. He told Willie about an accident that occurred when one of his people tipped a forklift after taking a curve too fast when the load was too high. The driver escaped serious injury because he wore his seatbelt and kept his hands and legs inside the truck. Here's a coaching tip. Confirm the safe actions of people you work with on the spot and as often as you can.
The one word that's important, that's fair. That's the only thing I ask my coaches, be fair. Be fair. Work him, be fair. You know, that's really the only thing I say. And if I see a coach that's not fair, I'll call him in and talk to him about it.
Correcting has its place, but too much correcting leaves people feeling browbeaten, discouraged. If you spot unsafe behavior, don't assume the worker is trying to push your buttons. He may not be thinking about proper procedure. In baseball, if a player's in a slump, having a difficult time getting a base hit, a good coach will pull him aside and work with him. You need to do the same thing in the workplace.
Willie, why are you working so close to that space heater?
You know, just trying to stay warm.
Yeah, it is a little chilly in here. But is there a safer way to do it?
Yeah, I guess I didn't really think of that. I should probably sweep this stuff away from the space heater, huh?
Yeah, that would be the thing to do. Why don't you sweep this debris out of the area and dump it in the trash? And keep flammables away from ignition sources.
Start by asking questions. Ask, why are you doing the job that way? Ask if there might be a safer way to perform the job. Be specific about what you expect. Explain how other workers have been injured working that way. Joe clarified his point and told Willie about another accident, one that occurred at a neighboring plant. Seems a fire broke out after someone left a pile of rubbish in front of a space heater. A worker sustained serious burns when he tried to smother the flames with an oil-stained tarp.
Willie, if you ever see someone working unsafe around any flammable material, warn them. You'll be doing them a big favor.
Yeah, I guess that means no cigarettes too, huh?
Definitely. They could cause a fire or an explosion. And that's one of the reasons we have a no-smoking policy at the plant.
Here's a coaching tip. Correct unsafe behavior in a positive way through asking questions, describing safe practices, and explaining why some work practices are hazardous. Jason had a reputation for leaving trash in the forklift at the end of his shift. Soda cans, candy wrappers, peanut shells. Sounds unimportant, but trash can easily cause slips and falls, and cans can roll back behind a pedal and cause serious accidents.
Hey, man, I'm tired of cleaning up after you, man.
Then don't.
Well, how about you stop leaving your mess around?
Yeah? And what are you going to do about it if I don't?
Well, why don't you just keep it up and we'll find out?
We can go out there at practice sometime, and I can look at a kid and I can tell something wrong. And maybe he's a kid that's laughed and joked and had a good time. Then all of a sudden he comes out there with his head hung low. He's not excited. He's not doing what he's late. He's not doing what he normally does. You can tell there's something happening to him. And a lot of times I see that. I'll call him in my office. Say, son, what's happening? I know something's happening to you.
As the safety coach, it's Joe's job to help resolve unnecessary conflicts. Let's watch how he did it in a non-threatening way.
Willie, I need for you to be a leader in the shop.
Well, I'm trying to, boss, but Jason's acting like a punk.
Well, look, you don't have to like all of your coworkers all of the time, Willie, but you do have to respect them.
Yeah, I hear you, Joe.
I've already spoken to Jason, and you guys are going to be working together, so I need for you to work this thing out.
All right, I'll see what I can do.
Tell you what, why don't you take a day? Let the situation cool off. You guys could meet in the break room. You could buy the donuts. Jason could buy the coffee. And then the two of you could discuss the situation.
When conflicts occur, give yourself time to let off steam before you intervene, so you can approach the person with respect. Meet on neutral ground, a break area, conference room, or a coffee shop, where there are no interruptions. Stick to the facts. Be specific about the actions you observed, not attitudes or personality quirks. Don't be rushed. Give yourself enough time to talk through the process. Begin by asking questions. Get him to lay his concerns on the table. Listen. Don't let your mind wander to prepare your next thought. Let him vent. Sometimes this is all it takes before he can accept another viewpoint. Try to come up with a solution. If that's not possible, tell him you'll get back to him and when. Follow through on promises. Follow up. Check back to make sure the problem has been resolved. Keep your workplace safe by resolving conflicts between people you work with in a respectful and non-threatening way.
As a safety coach, you know the importance of getting to know your people personally. It sets the stage for change. Safety performance improves because your people care.
We encourage our coaches to love our players. We encourage our players to love each other. It's love power, love power, love power that makes you successful. That was old Vince Lombardi's favorite saying, love power, love power. You know, a lot of people think football is kill, kill, hurt, maim. No, getting your team to be together and on the same page, nothing will help them more if they love each other.
Take a look at the change that's come over Willie. It says something about Joe's coaching style.
Hey, Willie, what are you doing here?
Hey, Joe. I'm just watching my nephew play. Plays for the Bulldogs, number 15, Toby Fields.
Oh, yeah, I know him. He's a pretty good ball player. I like to watch his team play. They play well together.
Yeah, kind of like we do at work, huh?
Yep, kind of like we do at work.
Joe's persuasive feedback was beginning to win Willie over to compliance. Joe became a trusted friend because he really listened to Willie. He helped resolve conflicts in a win-win way and gave Willie encouragement when he performed safely. Relationships and the team concept became important to Willie. He was becoming a leader in his own right, this time by example.
Hey, guys, I got the lockout tagout gear for this job.
Remember, to be an effective safety coach, you have to genuinely care about the people you work with.
Safety coaches know the importance of teamwork, collaboration. That means you have to trust your people just like they trust you.
We're recruiting the stars. we're recruiting, there might be one off of each team. It's not like we take the whole team. We're only taking the stars. So now they get here, they're used to being the star of their team. Now they come here, and everybody on there is a star, you know? And so the first thing we have to start hammering is team, 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 team.
In a football game, it's the players up front who must block to open up a running lane for the running back to be effective. It works the same way in the workplace. When employees work together as a team and they watch each other's back, everyone comes out a winner. There are plenty of ways to collaborate with your workers. Involve them in decisions like selecting new tools and equipment or PPE. Teach them to coach each other. Involve them in designing safety programs. Get their input on ergonomic changes to help reduce work-related musculoskeletal disorders, MSDs. When you get your people involved, you empower them. They have a sense of ownership. They feel their work is important. They gain a sense of purpose. So effective collaboration, or as some people say, teamwork, results in a safer work environment. Because of Joe's positive influence, Willie realized that safety performance wasn't just something you did to stay out of trouble, and he became fairly open about sharing his beliefs.
I don't know, it just seems all this extra safety gear makes for more work.
Think of it this way, Jerry. What's one of the most important things to you? Your kids, right? Well, what if you couldn't hear the sound of their laughter? Once you lose your hearing, it's permanent. You can't get it back.
You alert them continually. I'm always alerting them to what could be. You know, I'll give them the bad side, just so that if it did occur, they're prepared for it. And I try to tell the parents, you know, about the adversity that can occur, an injury.
Help your people understand they have a lot to lose and gain when it comes to safety. Clarify the personal importance of working safely by helping workers better understand their values, the most important things in their life, like family and health. Then they can make better safety choices because it makes sense. Use brief one-on-one coaching sessions or a group meeting to clarify personal values. Ask workers to prioritize the most important things in their lives. Point out how accidents can jeopardize the things they care about most. Give examples of accidents or personal testimonies. Point out it's hard to change our values, but we can choose to change our actions so we don't jeopardize what we value the most. Clarify the importance of safe work practices for the people you work with. Help them understand what kinds of things happen when you follow or fail to follow safe practices.
Again, communication of hey, this is the way it is, this is the way it's going to be careful for this, watch this, do the best you can do. That's the thing I talk to them all the time, do the best you can do and don't worry about anything else. That's all you can do is your best.
After just 1 year of Joe's coaching, Willie became a leader in his department, and a good lesson for all of us.
You can't threaten or force people to change. Ultimately, they have to come to believe that working safely makes sense.
And that takes the 7 C's. A safety coach who knows how to coach, confirm, correct, care, conciliate, collaborate, and clarify. And that makes for world-class performance.